So I'm speaking to Greg Baxter of Citi, and you hosted the Citi Digital Money Symposium today. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about sort of mobile commerce and digital money, which of course is the theme of the event. And there are a lot of column inches devoted to mobile payments, dongles such as Square and iZettle, and then of course we talk about NFC and wallets. It's something that you talked about on the panel is the last 6 inches. Yeah. I think you commented on. So what is your view on the future of mobile payments? Where do you think the consumers are going to move towards or use in the next few years or 5 years or 10 years? Crystal ball time.
Sure. No, and on the panel we had the comment around we often overestimate the speed of change and underestimate the impact. I think for the next couple of years, probably the truth is that cash is going to have a very long tail, and over 85% of transactions today are in cash. So we'll start to see that migrate towards a digital platform, but we do need to create these compelling value propositions. And I think it's going to be easier in the emerging markets where there really is a better alternative to physical cash. It's going to take a longer term in the developed markets where right now plastic is convenient and the cost of carrying cash is nowhere near as high as in the emerging markets. All that said, there's a lot of innovation going on in this space. There is the last 6 inches which are being competed over. And I think that there's technologies that are coming in. I don't think that you would want to bet the bank on any single technology today. So NFC is clearly an exciting technology and a very secure and useful technology, but it requires a technology upgrade from all of the point of sale and all of the handheld users as well. And that's going to take time. And at the same point, we're going to see innovation in the cloud, in image-based technologies, etc. So my steer would be that we'll see increasing adoption as the value proposition gets richer. I think the emerging markets will outstrip developed markets. And on the technology, specific technology side, we'll see a range of solutions, and you wouldn't want to bet the bank on any one of them.
So, I know mobile payments is the sexy side of mobile banking, but sort of moving outside of that, how really can banks and financial services use mobile as brand awareness and marketing and cross-selling?
Well, it's interesting in that mobile is analogous with personalisation and convenience. And that's where there's a great opportunity, but also a need for consumers to opt in, to want to be tracked and to want to be interrupted at different points in their life. But for consumers that are prepared to participate, there is an opportunity to understand them better, where they are, what they're doing, and start to provide services such as offers, etc., that are more relevant to them based on where they are, what they're shopping, what they've bought recently, have they moved houses, etc., and some of the services associated with that. There's also, if you look at the usage of smartphones at the moment, 1/3 of our time is on games and 1/3 on media. Gamification and creating a sense of enjoyment and a sense of modelling and tracking and participation in finances and understanding, I think, is an area where we can educate people, get them to participate and actually understand where they're spending money.
So is Citi going to hand out badges or?
Well, we're looking at different ways to try and create a more interesting experience. And if we take our tablet experience, our view is that people, when they're using a tablet, are more, they're typically in a space where they're more reflective, more thoughtful, etc., versus on a mobile where they want to do a transaction. And so creating flows and forward flows and projections and so what analysis is really helpful for tablet-type technologies. Whereas on a mobile phone, we're using more things like transaction-based services, quick and easy and simple. But it's those sorts of uses that allow people to get more engaged in managing their money. I think the other one is on the social side, where participation in advising people, in getting other people to help provide advice to you, in Citi being able to identify where there's been a service failure, and using social media to participate in that and have real feedback and real honest dialogue with our customers on building products, etc.
So, Citi's pretty open about their digital ambitions, and Dan Callahan earlier in the morning talked about the relationship with Google Wallet. So can you give us some insight about what's next from Citi on the digital side?
Sure. We have got, we absolutely see the imperative around digitisation. It's one of the big 3 things with globalisation and urbanisation. And there's a couple of different aspects to that. The first thing that we need to do exceptionally well is digitally enable our existing products and services. so that consumers that want to engage with us digitally have the products, services and support to do so, and that's integrated into the other channels. We don't see digital as a completely separate channel. And we've done a lot of work in that space, and if you look at probably the most significant progress we've made, it's around the user interface and experience on our consumer side, where we've won some awards recently, and on the security side of that. And we're trying to drive up adoption. So we've got 2.5 million mobile bankers now. And on the corporate side, we're also digitally enabling our products. And what's interesting is we launched a product about 16 months ago, BE Mobile. And last year, $31 billion of payments were approved on that platform. So there's also a real need for corporates to get involved. And these products are really just digital versions of existing products, more convenient, more personalised, more relevant. Stretching that a little bit further, we're looking at new payments tools and positioning Citi where our digital consumers want to be. So in sites, in social sites, in search sites, etc., earlier on in the shopping value chain, and providing some services after they shop. So one of the things we've got a money rewind offer at the moment, whereby if you buy something, you can get the price back if you find it, search for it anywhere else cheaper. So trying to provide a more extended relationship to them. And then finally, there's as we start to get all of the big data involved, we can start to work out what's more relevant, respectful and rewarding for you, and start to wrap offers around you in that space. You know, in the portfolio of that, a lot of our effort is getting the core products digitally enabled and then starting to enhance and innovate off the back of those.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.